What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode here of the Ball Up Podcast. I'm your host, Josh. I'm joined by my buddy, Nick. Nick is on YouTube. He does some card videos. Make sure to go check out his channel.
How's it going, guys?
And we're going to be ranking our top 10 NBA players in the league currently. This is not postseason or play-in tournament or anything like that. This is just the top 10 players in the league, whether you guys are watching on YouTube or Spotify. Hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. Hope you enjoy it. And we have our top 10 players. I was thinking we could do honorable mentions and then 10 to 1. Maybe
10 to 1, all right.
Like I'll say my 10 and you say your 10. But first I'll do my honorable mentions. I'll let you go first with your honorable mentions.
All right, so my honorable mentions, Ja Morant, Trae Young, and Donovan Mitchell.
So those are two guys, not Donovan. I love Donovan, but I was not going to have him on this list. But I think Trae and Ja were two guys I wanted to have on honorable mentions. But seeing what I know, this is playoffs, and
who do you have?
Well, this is an overall ranking. But just considering how well he's playing in the playoffs, I have Jimmy Butler.
I thought it was just regular season. I would have put Jimmy Butler in there.
No, it could. I just think it's who's the top 10 basketball players, not just
players?
based on regular, not
like
just
stats.
Stats, players, just who's the best. Like not just based on postseason or regular season. It's just overall.
I gotta throw Jimmy Butler in there.
You want to throw Jimmy?
He might even be in my top 10.
Yeah, it's just like based on that.
He might be my number 10.
Your number 10? All right.
I think I might change that.
Okay. So my honorable mention, like I said, I have Jimmy Butler. I have Paul George. I do have PG-13 on here because I think when he plays, he's absolutely lethal. And then I think the Clippers are sleepers to win the West next year. They have a deep team going. But I have DeMar DeRozan. Okay. That's the most questionable one I think so far for me because he did have a great season, sure, about 28 a game on like very good efficiency.
I had DeMar at my 10.
He was good scoring. Okay. I didn't know if he should have even made honorable mentions or the top 10 list, but I have him here. I think he's too talented, and you're just seeing that talent portrayed on what he did this season in Chicago. But he is my honorable mention, my third and final honorable mention. Those are in no particular order, but I would probably put Jimmy Butler as the best one. Do you want to give me your 10? You want to say your 10?
From 10 to 1?
Yeah, or you could do your 10, then I'll do my 10, and then I'll do your 9.
From 1 to 10, or?
No, from 10. Like, just do, start with 10th player.
I'm going to have at 10, Jimmy Butler.
There you go.
I'm going to have at 9, Chris Paul.
Jimmy Butler's there. I have Butler at 10.
I have Butler at 10, yep.
I think Butler is very deserving of being on the top 10 list. In the playoffs, he's an absolute machine.
I like his play style. I like everything about the way he plays, his intensity, his grit. I mean,
he just has that will to win.
Into it.
He has the will to win again.
He's just a playoff player. He is a clutch player.
Yeah, he has the will to win.
He makes shots when he's not awesome at 3, but when he needs to make threes, he makes threes.
Especially in the postseason too.
Yeah, elite defender. He's just an all-around good player.
You probably have this player higher on your list, but my number 10 is Jason Tatum.
Okay.
The biggest thing that held me from putting him is efficiency.
Yeah, he's very inefficient.
It's his consistency and his inefficiency. I'll see him miss a lot of shots that I think that he should make. I'll see him take a lot of shots that aren't the best shot selection.
I agree.
I love Jason Tatum, don't get me wrong. He is a Boston Celtic, so I love Jason Tatum. He went to my favorite college, Duke. I love Duke. I've always loved Jason Tatum, regardless of where it was going to go. But I can't really be... Not saying you're biased about it. I can't really be biased about it. I feel like 10 is the highest he can be right now. So, number 10 is Tatum. I won't get in. I won't get into stats too much for this.
He's a pretty all around good player.
What
can he do that's wrong?
Inefficient.
Other than inefficiency,
I feel like he should rebound a little bit more because he's inconsistent with that too. But another thing is, I think his passing's underrated, but he should do more of it. Pass the basketball more. And then we'll talk maybe if he can be a higher player.
How many rebounds does Jason Tatum average?
I think it was 8.
He's averaging
if you want to look at stats, you could look at some stats.
He's averaging about 8 a game. That's pretty solid.
That is good. But I feel like when you need it most, I can't base it off one game.
He gets
but just
blocks,
take a look at
he's a good defender,
game 5
he gets
of the Bucks series.
Yeah.
He should be there for that rebound. I just think he should. But that's
I agree.
That's my 10. You want to say your 9?
But, I mean, I don't know. Marcus Smart fumbled.
Yeah.
9, I'm going to have Chris Paul.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
I'm having Chris Paul up there. He just helps their team in any way. He's a great passer. I feel like every time I watch him, he
doesn't miss.
He doesn't miss.
Let me just say, he turned up like a 30 to 35 win franchise into a 63 win team.
Every team he goes to, they do well.
They do well.
Houston,
Thunder had a 0.2 chance of making the playoffs, and they were a 5 seed. I'll never forget that.
I mean, he just makes every team he goes to better.
Houston probably wasn't his fit, but he still made them like a solid team, a good team. And they were a 3 seed before they got him, I believe, but he made them a good team. So Chris Paul, you can't go wrong with Chris Paul. He did so much for the Clippers organization. So shout out to Chris Paul. My number 9 is someone who just got eliminated. At the time of filming this, he got eliminated last night in the postseason. It's Joel Embiid.
Oh, that's pretty low.
It is pretty low.
That's low for Joel
It's
Embiid.
very low for Embiid, but you'll see why when I have the players above him. I think I can pretty much back it up. Joel Embiid is so good at the game of basketball. I mean, he put up like 31 points a game this season. He's a good rebounder. His efficiency is very good. But I don't know if he's a true number 1 on a championship team.
Well, I want to know why you have him so low.
Now, I have him low because I just think the players above him are better when it matters most. I think the players above him can win more and can go farther. That's fair. Joel Embiid, I mean, he hasn't been able to get out of the second round. So, I don't think he makes his teammates too much better compared to, like I said in the last episode of the podcast, Nikola Jokic, who I do have higher than him. Now, the thing is, I have Jokic, I'll just say, a lot higher than Embiid on this list, but I still think Jokic and Embiid are close. I think with all these players on this list, it's not a far drop-off. It's extremely close, and I think that's a factor we should probably, think about.
Yeah.
Who do you have at 8?
My 8? I got Tatum.
You have Tatum at 8.
I have Tatum at 8.
Okay. I talked about Tatum, but I'll let you take the floor. On
I agree with the efficiency. He's not that efficient, but, I mean, Jason Tatum, he has those hot sprees where he just absolutely goes off.
That is true. That's
can
very
the ball.
true.
He has eight rebounds a game. He can assist. He throws some dimes sometimes.
He does.
I
won't deny that.
In the playoffs, he threw a nice dot at the end of the shot clock to Pritchard. Remember that? He went to the side. Tatum can shoot the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Mid-range, he can drive. He draws fouls. I don't really see anything Tatum is not bad at.
So he's a
good defender.
I'll let you finish, yeah. But going back to what you said, I think his defense is very underrated, but at the same time could be a little bit better. Another thing is that he takes a lot of mid-range jumpers contested sometimes. Those aren't always going to go in, I feel like. So I want to see him just really take the ball to the basket. Kind of like Giannis, because he has the strength.
No, he does that sometimes.
I feel like he should.
It's wild, and
I feel like he should. I feel like he should take it to the basket a lot. He has the strength.
Draw a lot of fouls.
He draws a lot of fouls, which I'm fine with. I feel like he can kind of push off sometimes, but a lot of players push off,
Yeah.
So, there's that.
I don't know. I just think Tatum's at number 8.
My 8 is pretty controversial. It's Devin Booker. Devin Booker
is in your top 10?
He is in my top 10. My hot take a while back, or not even a while back, was that he's a top 5 player in the league. When I put this list all together, I have him at 8. The way he scores is so fluent. He is genuinely a just pure scorer. The way he scores the basketball is tremendous. He's efficient in doing so. He had a great season this year. I think he should have been in the MVP conversation. I mean, you had great guys, great names like Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid in there.
Yeah, but
Jokic ends up winning,
defense there?
Booker's there. Booker's defense is not totally there, which you could say, but I do think Booker is the better player than Joel Embiid and Jason Tatum. I think that
But hasn't Booker's been like just a high 20-point scorer a game for the past few years? Or it's been in the 20s range.
Now, I know Chris Paul, like I said, put him on that Suns team, and they're tremendous. Without him, they're not as good. But I think he makes his teammates better. I think if you take Devin Booker off that team, they're even worse. I do. I think they're even worse. But it's pretty controversial. I'll let you get into your 7. You think's the 7th best player?
This is going to get Warriors fans really mad. I have Curry.
Okay. Let me tell you, I have Curry at 7 too.
Okay, yeah.
I have Curry at 7 too. I think you're right about the Warriors fan thing. It might not please every Warriors fan. I have 6 players who I think are better than Steph Curry right now. And I am a Steph Curry lover, okay? I love Steph Curry. Legitimately. I think he changed the game of basketball. I think he's the greatest shooter ever. Hot take, I think he's the greatest point guard ever. I think he's the greatest point guard in the league right now. I think that he could be an MVP candidate every time he plays if he stays healthy. And without him, that Warriors team is simply not good without him, I feel like. So, well, they're good. They're respectable. Jordan Poole, I think, is the future of that team with Kuminga and Moody. But without him, they are not as good.
I don't know.
They lose a lot of scoring. Curry's efficiency is sometimes not great. But at the end of the day, Steph Curry knows how to win. He knows how to get the job done.
I'm just looking at the all-around game.
Yeah, the defense I think is underrated. I think his defense is very underrated.
I don't know. Compare him. I'm not trying to compare him to Magic, but for now, just think about him and Magic, and when you're thinking about the guys I have ahead of Curry, they have an all around game, they can steals, blocks, everything else, and I just think Curry's a good player. But
let me tell you, the player I have at 6 is going to be extremely controversial.
Some things, I don't know. I just think Curry can shoot the ball. He can pass the ball, but some things when I watch Curry, he's just not great at. It's mostly defense.
I'm with you there. We kind of both did that together. So who do you have at 6?
6? These are...
It's
from
tough.
6 to 1.
It's so close.
It's really tough.
It's
I have
really
Luka.
close. You have Luka at 6?
Okay,
I can see that.
Luka...
He's so good.
I love Luka. I really love Luka. I love his style of game.
Although I know a lot of my friends don't like Luka Doncic, but I love Luka Doncic.
I do love Luka.
I get it. He complains a good amount of the time, but I love Luka Doncic. I loved him ever since he was drafted.
He's putting up almost a triple double. I should have had him higher. I really should have had him higher. 3-3 series with the Suns, the best team in the league.
He is pushing that series. He makes his teammates so much better. He gets them open looks. Dorian Finney-Smith in the corner is money every time, I feels like, because of Luka Doncic, the way maybe their spacing is. Now, I don't like Jason Kidd as a head coach, but he's proving me wrong right now. Because maybe without him, they wouldn't be where they are right now. Maybe it's not coaching at all, but Luka Doncic helps, I think, Spencer Dinwiddie, Dwight Powell.
He plays. I really do.
Kleba. He really sets up Kleba. So, Luka...
That's where I'm at, Luka.
I have Kevin Durant at 6.
Okay,
I agree with
that. I do.
Kevin Durant, I feel like, for the biggest reason, as we saw in the Celtics series, can be shut down. You can shut Kevin Durant down.
He's a baby. He's a baby. When you play good defense on Kevin Durant, he can't do anything.
Now he can score. He can still score.
He's a scorer, but
he can score at will. Wide open, he scores every single time. He complains a lot.
He's an elite scorer, but...
Elite level scorer. He averaged 30 a game.
Can't really play defense.
His defense is not there.
He's built like a string bean.
And here's the other thing.
He's like 6'11".
I know they've dealt with injuries, and they're much worse without Kevin Durant. Any team you take him off is probably going to be worse. But here's the thing. I feel like they're definitely better with Kevin Durant in the lineup. I don't know if Kevin Durant can win a championship as the best player on his team. Now, you could argue he was better than Stephen Curry, but he had someone almost to the caliber just as good as Stephen Curry for those 3 years in Golden State.
I think...
But, honestly... I don't think Kyrie Irving he's extremely talented, don't get me wrong. He's not on this list for me at all. He didn't get close.
No.
I don't think he is to the caliber of Stephen Curry. And then you have other guys on that team like Klay Thompson, Draymond Green in his prime. Even Iguodala was chipping in. They had a solid bench.
Again, the Celtics did something
Golden State
no other teams could do.
They swept the Brooklyn Nets. We didn't duck them. We swept them. And
they made Kevin Durant look like a casual out there.
Kevin Durant, I think, had a lot of help when he won that championship. And maybe not, I'll word it this way, maybe he's not the best player on it. He can win it with the best player on his team. He can be the best player on his team and win a championship. But how good can his team be?
This is why I still believe that Larry Bird is better than Kevin Durant.
Of course. Absolutely. I totally agree with that take. I think Kevin Durant
Larry Bird is better than everything else.
Kevin Durant needs help to win. And I mean a lot of help. I really feel that way. 5. We're narrowing down, guys.
Number
to the top 5.
I do have Kevin Durant.
You have Kevin Durant. Okay.
I have KD at 5. We have really similar lists.
Because talk about it. You had Luka at 6. I have Luka at 5.
We pretty much. I mean, Luka and KD are a toss-up.
Yeah. I think Luka's better because I don't think you can shut him down as easily as we saw Kevin Durant get shut down. I mean, Luka Doncic is single-handedly forced to Game 7 with the best team in the league record-wise.
Yeah. What did he put? Didn't he put up like a crazy numbers on the Celtics?
Luka?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he hits a game winner. It feels like over us every time.
But
against our defense, which I like.
At 5, I mean, 5 or 6 is where I think he lands. I mean, he's just one of the best scorers of all time. He can just score the ball. He's 6'11". The way he moves, the way he shoots the ball,
at will.
It's impossible to guard the guy. I don't know. I think it's Kevin Durant. I mean, no matter if people think, oh yeah, Kevin Durant.
He's still phenomenal at the game of basketball.
He's a good. Even though I don't like Kevin Durant.
I don't either.
He's a cocky. I don't like him.
I don't like him either. I
think that's where he has to be.
So
no matter if you like him or not, that's where Kevin Durant has to be.
So 4. I'm interested who you have at 4.
4? I have Joel Embiid.
Embiid at 4. Okay, tell me why. Tell us why.
He puts up numbers. I mean, no one can guard him. Tell me someone who can guard him other than Giannis. Name someone. You can't.
I don't feel like another big man.
There's no other big man can guard Joel Embiid in the way he plays. He does everything. I keep saying this. This is just. I think I keep saying he's just an all-around
good player. Defensively too. He is.
He's built like he could play in any generation of basketball.
And they're way worse without him.
Yes.
Sixers. Now, the only thing that showed me that
if Harden wasn't on the floor, I feel like they could still have the same record they have. Harden has really no impact, I don't think.
I think he's washed. He's getting there. He's not on my top 10 list. I think the Sixers are not smart if they bring him back. They should clear up that cap space, wait for Tobias Harris' contract to expire. Try and flip him maybe. I don't even think they should give him a lot of money. Because I think that when he's only getting older, that contract is going to come back and bite them in the behind.
I think Joel Embiid is the second most dominant player in the league.
Second most
dominant player.
I mean, there is no answer for Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Trust me. But the players I have ahead of him, I feel like
what's your 4?
It. So my 4 is Kawhi Leonard.
I don't have Kawhi on this list because
he hasn't played. Yeah,
that's the only reason. That is the only reason. Don't get me wrong. If Kawhi's been playing the whole year, I love Kawhi. I would have put him at top 10, but he hasn't played.
I feel like he's the hardest player to rank all time almost because
he gets hurt.
He gets hurt and he has load management. But Kawhi Leonard, no disrespect, is tremendous. He is, I think, could be the best two-way player in the league. He won that Raptors team a championship. I don't think they were winning one without him. He went down 0-2 to Giannis and ended up winning 4 unanswered. They beat Golden State in the finals. You could say if Kevin Durant was playing, maybe the Warriors would have won or at least forced a Game 7. But Kawhi Leonard is so good. I think that
he's probably the best defender in the league. When he's out there, he is 1 or 2.
He is just lockdown. It's just lockdown when you go up against Kawhi Leonard. So Kawhi Leonard, I have it 4. Again, I can't wait to see him back on the court. I just think his winning impact. He knows how to win. So I think he should be at 4 too. I know they blew the 3-run lead to Denver in the bubble, but he's got to be my 4. The way he scores and then just is right back on defense. I feel like I rarely see him miss. It's just a work of art, and I got him at number 4. So now we'll get into our top 3. So, curious, who do you have at 3? Because I think we have the same top 3.
I'm gonna put LeBron James at 3.
I have the same exact thing.
LeBron James. I mean, it's LeBron James. I'm not a LeBron James fan. I know Josh is.
Oh yeah,
but
big LeBron guy right here.
He's averaging 30 points at like 38 years old.
37 years old.
37 years old. I don't care about the record. The guy's averaging about 30 points. He can play every single position.
I won't get into the GOAT debate. Because, I mean, his team wasn't winning, which is the only argument you could, I guess, say for why he's not maybe one of higher on this list. But
he's maybe got size, you could say that. Athletic, court vision.
The GOAT debate, I think he could still be the best passer in the league right now. He
can play a little bit of defense. I don't see him as a really good defender.
I think that the difference here is that Michael Jordan wasn't doing this at the age of 37.
Yeah, because he retired. He could still do that at the age of 37. Jordan could still do that. It was a different era.
It was a different era. I won't get into that too much.
It was more physical. There weren't as many fouls back then.
That's for another time. Just had to say it. Just thought I'd bring it up.
People older can play now.
I'm not saying who's better. I'm just saying he wasn't doing that. But yeah, I mean, like I said in my last episode, I feel like free throws are a big part as to why players might average so many points. It's not that they're not good NBA players at all. They're tremendous NBA players. He's only
averaging 75% from the free throw line.
Yeah, free throw straight is... It's not
that great for him, but...
I feel like it should be higher.
He's just... most points in the league this year.
I think the Lakers will find a way back to the playoffs next year. So I think they'll be in the playoffs next year. I think that they'll be maybe a top 7 seed.
Everyone says every year... All the super teams. Oh, you look at the power rankings. Watch next year. It's going to be, let's see, 1.
If they trade Westbrook.
2 Lakers. It happens every year. And what happens?
Trade Westbrook. I feel
absolute dog.
I think that a trade that's going to happen. I've always mentioned this. My biggest take of the offseason is Zach LaVine will sign with the Spurs. But I think that what I'm seeing is for some reason I could see the Knicks and Lakers being not so smart with each other as I would say. Because I don't think this trade's smart for either teams, but Westbrook for bringing back Julius Randle to L.A. and Westbrook gets like another fresh start in New York to salvage.
It's not going to work out.
It won't work out.
Westbrook, it's not definitely won't work out. Are you kidding me?
But I don't think I think I could see it happening. But I don't know if it'll work out. That's a trade I'm really
the New York Knicks. They're a big franchise. They do stupid stuff. That's something they would do. I agree with you.
I think Indiana would want Westbrook, or I've seen would like it.
He's not going to do anything.
He would hurt their team. Charlotte for Gordon Hayward.
I don't like that.
I think that helps the Lakers.
Ball, you need to develop LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Play?
He cannot play the 2.
LaMelo's going to play.
And LaMelo's a dominant 1.
Yeah, LaMelo isn't going to get the ball.
He's tall enough to play the 2, but I don't think he should.
Yeah.
So. Hornets, please don't trade for him, for Westbrook. Same thing.
Westbrook, how about you just retire? No one would care.
Well, I like Westbrook. I've always supported the guy. I want to see him do well. I hope he gets traded. I want to see him succeed. Maybe back for John Wall, that swap, and maybe the Rockets will do something.
John Wall, he's washed up. He's done.
John Wall?
Yeah. I
don't think he's good. Who's your number 2?
I have Jokic.
Okay, I have the same thing. So we know our number 1 is the same.
We know our number 1.
So we could probably just keep going. Jokic,
he just...
Second
he does everything MVP. Out there.
Now, an argument I've seen is that, he should have won MVP this year.
He's not dominant, but he's a smart player.
They were a 6 seed, and he won MVP this year. So I've seen people say Steph should have been MVP last year, as they were the 8 seed. I still think Jokic deserved it.
Even though Jokic is bigger than Luka and Chris Paul, I think he has the same impact as those players. He makes the players around him better.
He was a 6 seed, with the second best player arguably being Will Barton. Or Aaron Gordon. Monte Morris is in there too.
I don't know. I feel like with their team, they don't have superstars. They have one superstar.
Without him.
And then everyone else, they don't really it's like
I think they have a solid team there. Without him, and count Jamal Murray and Michael Porter.
Say, for example, if Russell Westbrook was in his prime, say.
Yeah.
I don't know, say his prime, and he has, mid players like the Nuggets have. I don't think that they would win a playoffs. I don't think they would go to the playoffs.
I don't even know so you think, almost 2017 Thunder team? Before the
I just think Jokic is just,
before that,
I don't know. He's just an anchor in the team. And
I think he's just it shows his dominance the way he
He's
plays.
not dominant. He's not a dominant player.
I don't think
he's
the Suns.
He's a smart player.
I don't think the Suns players, not the Suns. The Nuggets players are mid. I think they're good. I would say Jokic.
They're mid players, but Jokic makes them better.
Jokic makes his teammates so much better, and I think that he's dominant in the way that's not a Joel Embiid type dominant or a player we both have at one type dominant. I think it's a dominance in a strategic way. So we both kind of had a similar outlook on that one.
Yeah.
But number one, I'm assuming you have
Giannis.
I have Giannis at one.
This is a really similar list.
I think, yeah, I know. That
this
is convenient or convincingly. Giannis.
And we didn't look at each other either.
I know.
We were like...
I mean, I have Booker on here. You don't have Booker anywhere.
Yeah,
you have Embiid way higher. But
yeah,
Giannis...
he's the most dominant player.
He is the most dominant player. Hot take, I think he could be the greatest power forward ever. I think he could even be the most dominant player ever. Greatest player ever? I don't know about that. Now, a lot of people like to say he can't shoot. I think he's a decent shooter.
No,
that
not
shot,
at three.
that shot he
not
hit.
At three.
That if he did not hit that shot in Game 5, that was a huge three.
He's shooting
to bring them within
28% from three. That's 1 3. He's not efficient from the three-point line.
I don't
he's
think
not.
But
he's not efficient from mid-range.
He doesn't need to be.
He doesn't have to be. But you're saying he's a good shooter, but he's
no.
He's really
no, I think he's a bit underrated. He's not really a great shooter, but he's not. He's just some. I think he's underrated.
If he works on
that
his shooting,
shot he hit in Game 5, if he had a consistent jump shot, like a fluent jump shot, I think he could be the greatest player of all time. I really do. That's the faith I have in Giannis.
We need to see more of him.
That's the belief
if
I
he
have.
Gets,
he'll play for I think another 10 years.
If he gets 3 or 4 more titles, he can be up there for one of the best ever.
I think top 5 even.
Top 5.
I mean, we'll see what happens. I think he's going to be just fine.
No one can guard him. There's not one single player in the league who
can
guard him.
I've thought Kawhi Leonard can contain him, as we saw in the playoffs.
But I don't think he can guard him. The best player who's contained Giannis in these playoffs, and I think ever, is Grant Williams.
Grant
freaking Williams.
It's not a hot take.
If you watch basketball like Flight, the guy thinks Grant Williams sucks. Whenever he sees him, you need to watch the game to see that. Grant Williams
He got a lot tougher this season. Mentally on the court.
The guy's like a brick wall.
Mentally, he got a lot tougher, I feel like, too. So
yeah.
There's our top 10. Let me know who you guys think has the better top 10. I think they're both really good. Make sure to leave a like if you're watching on YouTube here. If you're watching on Spotify or or YouTube, thank you for listening. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you coming on.
No worries.
We'll have to do it again. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up. We'll see you guys next time. Let me know who you guys think are going to win the championship this year. And peace.